Back on the Bernie and Sid show. Every now and then we get a guest that is big, very big, huge, like Donald Trump about a year ago. And now we are blessed and fortunate to have this lady. She's really the face of morning television for NBC, the Today Show, now on, of course, the whole show. She was on that final hour. She does a terrific, terrific job. She's got a brand new book out. It's titled You Are My Happy. And she's one of the real nice people in television today, which is loaded with phonies and backstabbers. A very good morning here on the Bernie and Sid show to the very talented Hoda Kotb. Good morning, Hoda.
Hello, Hoda.
Bernie, I can't believe I'm with Bernie and Sid.
Yes, you is.
Well, congratulations. You know, a lot of our friends, a lot of people in TV, Hoda, now write child books, books, children, and your story, of course, mirrors the relationship between you and your daughter. This is Cubs, obviously, but it mirrors that relationship. That must have been fun to write.
Well, it was, and I got to tell you guys, if you think about it, like I'm 54 years old. I've gotten I can't believe I get to be a mom, and I've gotten to be a mom for the past 2 years. The idea that I'm writing a children's book for my daughter is like blowing my mind. The fact that I'm saying to you, my daughter, is also still blowing my mind. So it's like you think to yourself when you hit 50, like, wow, that must have been I guess the best years were kind of, the cool ones I had, the fun ones where I was running with my friends and all this. And I've just come to realize, like, the best part of life just happened for me.
Great.
I can't believe it. I'm like talking to you, saying it out loud, going like, how is this possible?
See, this is why you're so likable, Hoda Kotb.
Yeah,
the book is called I've Loved You Since Forever. That was the first book. The second book is You Are My Happy. And Hoda Kotb, you have book signings all week long. Tuesday, tomorrow night at the Indigo Books and Music, the Mall at Short Hills. Wednesday at the Book Review in Huntington, which is a great place. Thursday in Brooklyn, the Park Slope Barnes & Noble. And Friday, it is called the PM Word 23 in Jersey City.
Man, you got it. I'll be there. Look, are you going to go to any of them?
All of them. Every single one.
The Huntington one, yes.
In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my book, which nobody bought and or read, and sit next to you, Hoda, in an attempt to possibly up my sales. You cool with that?
I am so cool with that.
Listen, people love you. My wife actually met you once. She said you were the nicest lady. She had a conversation with you. I won't say where it is or where we live or any of that stuff, but she loved you. You exude happiness and niceness. And your friend Kathy Lee Gifford, who you just parted with after all these years, speaking of gratitude for things in life, you attribute a lot of things to her.
I got to tell you, I mean, sometimes in your life, look, it would be as if, when they first said to me, hey, look, Kathy Lee Gifford may come back to television. I had never met Kathy Lee. I just watched her as a kid. I thought she was amazing. The idea that I would get to sit alongside of her was the furthest thing from my mind. I was like from local news. I couldn't, like every job I got was like, how did this happen kind of thing. And I think the thing I learned from her was she's free on the air. And I was always so worried about messing up and saying the wrong thing. And what if I got something wrong? And all of a sudden, Kathy looked at me one day when I was preoccupied with like not flubbing the whole show up. And and a producer was talking in my ear. I had cards in front of me. And Kath stopped me and she said, Hoda. And I looked at her and she goes, I'm right here. And for the very first time, you guys, I talked to her and listened to her. And we, breaks be gone, who cared? It just was freeing. And I remembered thinking, like, that's it. Like you got to trust the person you're next to. And I remember her, when I first met her, she said, Hoda, will you come out and meet Frank and my kids? I want to, before I take a job, I just want to know, like, what the story is. And I said, okay. So I went out, and Frank said to me, listen, I've done a lot of I've done a lot of shows. And he said, the only way a show works is if you trust somebody to have your back. You have to trust them completely. And she's the most trustworthy person I've ever known. And I remembered thinking, wow, that was Frank Gifford saying those words. And from that point on, like, she trusted me and I trusted her. And if we were going to go down, we were going to go down together.
Listen, we can appreciate that because Bernie and I have that same relationship, Hoda. Same thing, an incredible amount of trust. We trust each other's instincts. We trust each other's personalities. And it's kind of the same thing. The two of you guys had incredible chemistry. You guys really did. I mean, she was great even before, but you guys had incredible chemistry. But that brings on the new girl who is now working there, Jenna Bush. And I read something, and maybe this is not true, but I read that the former First Lady Laura is not thrilled about Jenna being in that spot. Now, when you hear that, you can't be happy about that, can you?
Okay, listen, you need to throw that National Enquirer away.
Okay, that's what I read.
Apparently, I mean, what she said to me was when her dad wrote to her that he was so proud of her, and her mom was over the moon. I mean, Laura's been on our show a couple of times. She's been here with us, and she loves it. Look, they know Jenna's wild, okay? They just need to unleash her.
Yes, they do. No, I believe this had to do, this apocryphal rumor story had to do with the wine consumption on the set.
That.
I believe it was that, and it's probably very lighthearted, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, and there will still be wine there.
But it's always good to have a look. Look, one of the things I have to give you credit for, Hoda, and we're not going to get too into this. This is about you and your book, You're My Happy, and all that great stuff. But obviously your network has been through a couple of trials and tribulations over the last year or so. You came back. You were one of the first voices we heard after Matt's situation, and you were great. You were terrific. And one of the things that you're able to do is take these things, kind of put them on the back burner, and continue to be yourself and do the show. That's a testament to you. So you may think of yourself as this news lady who kind of arrived on the scene and blah, blah, blah. But the truth is you've become very, very good at weathering the storm, going about business, and remaining somebody that's very likable that Americans appreciate.
Well, thank you, honey. I mean, we have been through our share of like difficult times. And I think, I think it's like with you guys on your show, there are times in your life where you feel terrible about something, and it's okay to feel terrible, like you're allowed. And then you go through and, you try to move forward. I mean, I think what's weird about your job and our job, too, is that a lot of things do happen out in front, and it's a strange feeling, quite frankly, because you want to have the proper time to feel like you want to feel. But I'm happy that we've kind of picked up and moved on. I mean, I knew that Savannah was a good egg. I didn't know how good until I sat next to her for the last year. I knew she was smart. I didn't know she was funny. I didn't know how sensitive she was. I didn't know all those things. And I think, I guess people evolve over time, and hopefully we'll just keep on riding the train.
No doubt about it. I'm sure you will for a long time. But another similarity, Hoda Kotb, in the book is called You Are My Happy. It's a children's book, and it's great. Check it out, You Are My Happy. We'll repeat the book signings in a minute. But,
love you, babe.
But listen to this. The similarity is this. The hours that we work, we share the same hours with you. They're horrendous.
Awful.
I mean, this is going to be hell week for you, as I mentioned. You're going to be exhausted doing your job in the morning and then trying to do these book signings in the afternoon and at night. I mean, how has that affected your life, getting up that early?
Well, you know what? Because, I've sort of gotten used to it. I mean, Haley gets up early, so I was kind of into it during all this time. But it is, look, my alarm goes off at 3, and then I have another one at 3:15 because I do all my studying in the morning. So I've sort of gotten weirdly, I guess, kind of used to that strange quiet time because, there are very few windows like that. And I don't know, man. I think we might have to cut the booze out during the day.
I know, right?
I used to say that all the time. You and Kathy would be drinking wine. I'd be like, I was jealous, obviously.
You need a nap. We got hammocks in the back here.
All right, well, listen, check Hoda out. Again, later on tonight, she'll be in Short Hills. On Wednesday night, she'll be at the Book Review. That's a wonderful place in Huntington. Thursday night, check her out in Park Slope at the Barnes & Noble. Friday night, she'll be at Word 23. That's in Jersey City. Saturday, she'll be at the Eastchester Barnes & Noble. And then coming up on Sunday, she'll be in Wesleyan, in the Julia Bookstore on Main Street in Connecticut.
That first one you mentioned is tomorrow night in Short Hills.
Tonight. Well, this is taped.
That's right, tonight. You idiot. You dummy. We'll edit that out.
All right. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you, Hoda. Best of luck to you. Take care. Once again, the book is You Are My Happy. And, of course, the author and the star of the NBC Today Show is Hoda Kotb.
I got to quit the drugs.
We're going to play it like this. We're not even going to cut it out.
I got to quit the drugs, man.
You did it the first time. I let you get away with it.
No,
then I corrected it, and then you corrected me. That was fun. Hoda Kotb was great. More of Bernie and Sid right after these words.